You too? Okay, just one more. Now you're good. So two times.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande. Manasa Madhukara Mapayanam Chapara Pam Chadra Makarande.
You sang, yeah.
Jai Jai Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite
Guru Gyanadas Swananda Krinaya Kashindu Pranavasina Avatara Pasira Sidara Pranaya Pachara Ajana Lambito Bujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanai Kapitro Kamlaya Taksho Vishwambro Dvijavayo Yugadama Palo Bande Jagatpriya Karo Karana Avataro Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahaya Emam Devachcha Vishundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rashapadaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Kastuli Tilakam Latapatale Vaksane Kostabam Sagre Varamoktikam Karatare Venu Karakankanam Sava Anga Hari Chandanam Sulalitam Kanta Muktavali Rajastriyo Parivesito Vijayate Gopala Chudamani He Sisama Sundara Shikara Shekara Smiraha Sumili Manohara Radhika Rasika Mama Kripanadi Sapriya Charana Kinkarim Guru Tavai Vasmi Najivami Taya Vina Vivyara Devam Nayamam Charanantikam Yat Kinkareshu Vausa Kaluka Kavani Nitapurasha Purusha Shashakandamuli Tashakadara Sanideva Savanujayas Tatkeli Kunja Bhavanangala Majini Shama Bhajami Radha Ravinda Netram Smarami Radha Madhura Smitasham Vadhami Radha Karuna Bharajam Tato Mamanasti Rati Nakapi Bhakta Vahino Yaparada Lakshay Shiptascha Kamadita Rangamaji Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Kanaka Jaladagatro Nila Sobhagya Netro Mrigumarvaravalo Malati Kundamalo Tarlana Taruna Vesho Nilampitam Varesho Smarane Nibritani Kunje Radhiko Krishna Chandro Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaye Bacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Dhanavad Pranam devotees. So, I'm praying for the causeless mercy of my Guru Parapadma, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnu Para Paramahansastu Tarasata Sisamai, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and likewise onto the lotus feet of our Srila Prabhupada, our Rupanuga Guru Varga, Lotus feet of Sachinandan Gaur Hari, Shishivara Gaur Gadara, Shishivara Vallabhju Ki Jai, Shishivara Govinda Dev Ki Jai, all the devotees headed by Chaitanya Swami, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Shant Maharaj, and Baladeva Jayanti Ki Jai. So, how long?
Just
What time is we? All right, we're supposed to both speak, so I'm trying to, Maharaj, I think, trying to.
go ahead.
What do I do? So first, we should be very thankful to Sri Baladev Ji, who is in charge of all the elements of the material world as well as the spiritual world, that somehow or another, whatever disaster was meant to happen, averted us. I think so many times that since I've been here, since 2006, I've seen the same thing, that the reports are always very imminent destruction, disaster, everything, but somehow at the last minute it's always averted to some degree, or it's minor. So, we can have at least some direct experience of the power of Harinam, Vaishnavas, and the savor of Shri Thakurji, especially at the Raman Reddy here, the service of Shri Shri Krishna and Balaram. So very much an attestment to the faith that devotees have. Of course, no matter what happens, faith means that we will accept whatever is the outcome. Tate anukampam sushamiksham in this shloka. Obviously, we accept whatever happens is also the mercy of Bhagavan. So we don't make a criteria like some religious faiths do, that only if everything goes all right, then he's God. If everything doesn't go all right, we have questions. So we're not like that. So, but we're still very thankful when we see some manifestation of the Lord's mercy in any way in our lives, right? So today's Baladev Jayanti, and Maharaj will also speak something. So I thought what I will speak, and I thought perhaps I would speak on some of the ontology of Baladev Tattva, and then some speciality of some of the Leelas of Sri Baladev Ji. So first, the absolute truth, according to Brahma, is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. So Satchit Ananda Vigraha means that the absolute truth has three divisions, but they're all, Vigraha means they are in one reality, right? Advaya Gyan Paratattva, there's not two separate things, right? So the Sat means the existence potency, Chit means the cognition potency, and Ananda means the bliss potency. So Sri Krishna himself is actually all three of these things. But in order to taste them in a very unique way, Krishna expands himself as his Shakti Tattva and as the Seva Vastu, Seva Vritti Tattva. So the Seva Vastu, Seva Vritti Tattva is called Sri Balaram. So Balaram, what is the meaning of Balaram? What does Bal mean? Strength, power, Shakti. And Ram? Bliss. Ramayate iti Rama. So Balaram means that power to give happiness to Krishna in the form of Seva. Vritti means the attitude of serving, and Seva Vastu, the very substance of serving. So those three things, Satchit and Ananda, in the spiritual realm, they function empowered by an additional three Shaktis. They're not different, but they're different functions. One is called a Sandini, one is called a Ladini, and one is called a Samvit. So they're not, some people think it's the same thing. But if anybody ever comes to you and asks this question, and you tell them, what is every jiva made of? So then why we don't see Krishna in everything? Because it requires the function of those three things as Ladini, Samvit, and Sandini. So they're one thing, but simultaneously they have some differentiation, because they can appear in Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva is also Satchidananda. That's the nature of the Atma. But why don't we experience Krishna in everything? Because we're not imbued with Sandini, Samvita, Ladini. That's what will descend at the time of Bhav. So in the spiritual world, those three things are the function of Satchidananda. And the predominating deity of the Sandini Shakti, the substance Shakti, is called the Balarama Baladev Tattva. The reason is that Seva Vritti, Seva Vastu. Seva Vritti means a tendency of serving. That tendency of service is manifest in the Vaibhav Prakash of Krishna. Baladev is not different from Krishna. It's not another person. Baladev is Krishna with the Abhiman of a Sevak to Krishna. You understand? Because he's Bhagavan. He's not someone different. Is Radharani God or not? Because many times you ask devotees, they will say, Radharani is the greatest devotee of Krishna. No. In one shloka of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad, Arajo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tat Dhamma Vrindavana. Everybody knows this shloka? What is the meaning here of Aradhyo Bhagavan? Who is Aradhyo Bhagavan? How can Krishna be Aradhyo Bhagavan? Of course, you can construct the sentence in Sanskrit differently, but how can Krishna be Aradhyo Bhagavan? He's the object of Aradhana. So who's Aradhyo Bhagavan? Radhika. She is the Aradhyo Dev, the Aradhyata Devi. She is the personification of worship of Krishna. So she's actually Aradhyo Bhagavan. You understand? So these three divisions are always there. If these three divisions are there, then the whole expanse of Krishna's Leela really does not take place. If there's no Shakti, it doesn't take place. If there's no substance for the Shakti to enter to serve Krishna, there's no Leela. So these three things are necessary. And the attitude and substance of service is indispensable from that. So that is Baladev Tattva. However, if Baladev is not imbued with the Ladini Shakti, could he give pleasure to Krishna? Chaitanya Charitamrita Lila 4 says, Radhika is the only happiness of Krishna. How can you say that? It means Subal, Sridhar, Madhushan, they don't give happiness? They do. How? Because they're imbued with the Ladini Shakti. And who's the Mool Shakti of Ladini? Therefore, that's why Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is making this statement. So Baladeva is imbued with that Shakti. And he manifests these substances which display that Shakti tangibly. In other words, in the spiritual world, the land of Vrindavan, the body of all the Brijabasis, except the Kaya Vyuha of Radhika, who are extensions or expansions of Shakti, all the substances of the spiritual world, bodies of the Brijabasis, Krishna's own body, body of Nanda Yashoda, all the trees, Jamunaji, all the manifestations of Baladev Tattva. Understand? He manifests the substance of service. When Krishna wants to expand his Leela, that same Baladev Tattva in the nucleus of Vrindavan manifests a Mool Shankarshan. This Mool Shankarshan is the beginning of the expansion of the Lord's activities outside of Vrindavan. Understand? Because the Lord has unlimited activities. In Chaitanya Charitamrita is written, Swamsha Vibhinaksha, Rupahana Vishtar, Ananta Vaikunte. Ananta Vaikunte means not only Golok Vrindavan, but all Vaikunta. Right? So all the spiritual planets, Ayodhya, Dwaka, Mathura, all Vaikunta Dhams. Ananta Vaikunta. What is this? What is this shloka? Swamsa Vibhinamsa Rupahana Vishtar, Ananta Vaikunte, Brahmanandas. Brahmananda means the material world. Karena Vihar. So the Lord has Leelas not only in the unlimited Vaikuntas, but he also has Leelas here in this world. What is this Leela called? Shristi Leela. There's also one Leela of Bhagavan. We're just thinking this, well, I was suffering here. This had nothing to do with you. We're so self-absorbed and self-obsessed. There's also Bhagavan's own Leela, Shristi Leela. To accomplish these Leelas, the Mool Shankarshan expands. Understand? Taking the Abhiman of a Mool Shankarshan. So also we should understand what is the meaning of Sankarshan. What is the meaning of Sankarshan? San or Sam means all. Karshan means attract. That which attracts everything to Krishna is called Sankarshan. So the very purpose of establishing himself as Mool Shankarshan is not for something separate from the interest of Krishna, but it is the principle of beginning attraction to Krishna. You understand? Therefore, Krishna has so many different features. Ramadi Moteshu Kala Niyamena Tistan Nanavatara Akaro Bhuvaneshu Kento Krishna Swayam Samavat Paramampamadyo. Though Krishna Swayam Bhagavan, he has unlimited features. And different devotees, according to their ruchi, will be attracted to different features. The person responsible for that attraction is called Sankarshan. It'll even make more sense later on. So Sankarshan expands, and the first Chatavya, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Adiruddha, they become the predominating deities of Mathura and Dwarka. So this is the first expansion of Krishna's Leela outside of Braj. Then a second Shankarshan manifests. And that Shankarshan manifests the second Chatavya, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Adiruddha, who then are the predominating deities by expansion of all the Vaikuntha planets. Then from that same second Shankarshan manifests Karanodakshayi Vishnu. That Karanodakshayi Vishnu is one tattva that manifests three functions. Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, from which Lord Brahma appears. Then entering into every atom, not only the heart of every jiva, but every atom is Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. So this is an interesting thing. Jiva Goswami is written in Paramatma Sandarbha. In the 21 qualities of the Atma, the last thing he mentions is Paramatmaika Seshitva. That the jiva is Jiva Shakti expanded from the last energy as a jiva of Paramatma. We enter this cosmos, we enter the creation through Karnodakshayi Vishnu's glance. But we're actually a manifestation of Jiva Tattva coming from Kshirodakshayi Vishnu or the Paramatma. Understand this? Good. So now Paramatmaika Seshitva. So the word Sesh is used here. Sesh has a couple of meanings in Sanskrit. One meaning is remainder. But another meaning is worshipper. That's why the three forms of Vishnu in this world are called Shayi. Karnodakshayi, And Seish means who worships that. So our constitutional relationship, which Mahaprabhu told us in Sanatana Goswami, Jiverso Poya Krishna Nitya Das, is being stated in this same verse, Paramamaika Seishitva. The word Seishitva and Dasatva are the same thing. You understand? Now, in order to realize Bhagavan, so just to give an indication of where we've come from, in order to be at the table of talking about Braj Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Radha Dasyam, right? Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Mora Sampad. My Sampad is the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari. Where we've come from means had to have passed through the idea of first worshipping the principle of Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Because that's the first element of acknowledgement of Bhagavan. You understand? Because what we're thinking is in this life, I heard Harinam, I went to the temple, I took prasadam, then I decided to join, and I was already there. Then I met Gurudev and I was getting ready to be a Manjari. It didn't happen like that. You understand? So remember, we've been in the sojourn in the material world from Anadikal. So the first relationship is actually with Paramatma. And once we recognize the nature of Dasitwa, Bhagavan appears in that form as the Narayan Roop coming from the Paramatma. This is the secret in the description of the birth of Krishna in Mathura to Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki, there's some lila of Sutapa, Vrishni, Sutapa, etc., etc. But the ontology of that is that Vasudeva is the state of consciousness in which God is first recognized. Satvam Vishudam Vasudeva Shabditam. Tatra Yad Idyate Pumsam Apavrita. When God first becomes uncovered, that state of consciousness is called Vasudeva. You understand? So Krishna first appears in the mind, it says, mind and heart not a different thing for Vasudeva. And then it is transferred to Devaki. So the natural relationship between husband and wife is like the relationship also of guru and disciple in some ways. So this is the meaning of that transfer. But how did the Supreme Lord appear to Vasudeva and Devaki? As Shyamsundar Krishna with a flute and everything? No. How did he appear to them? Forearm formed as Narayan. Therefore the indication here in this teaching is that the first appearance of Bhagavan is as Bhagavan. We didn't suddenly jump into the platform of Radhadasyam. So it means the first appearance that came to you in your sojourn to find God was as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You understand? And then over the course of maybe so many lifetimes, Haribol, Prabhuji, over the course of so many lifetimes, that understanding of Bhagavan has elevated in different levels. Therefore, at a certain point, expedited form in the Leela of Krishna's Janma, Devaki spontaneously asked, think about this, what is the rationale that you've now seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead who acknowledged to you, you prayed for God to be your son, and now I fulfill that promise. But Devaki asked, oh, can you become a small baby? Because we have a fear of Kamsa. So just take a minute, take a deep breath and digest that logic. You ask for God to show up, God shows up, fully equipped. Disc, club, mace, everything. And then you say, well, can you become a baby and everything because I'm afraid of Kamsa? You understand? Yeah. So what happened that made this phenomenon take place? Huh?
Feeling of possessiveness or protectiveness.
But how could it transfer from you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead to I want you to be my son? Nanda Barai Dvinamne Yashoda Devaki is written in Sastra. Nanda Maharaj's wife has two names, Yashoda and Devaki. Why does she have the name Devaki? Because she is Yashoda. She gave the fame of motherhood to Devaki. Therefore, the feeling in Devaki's heart, please become my son, even in an irrational circumstance. You understand? Who can have it? Who can know he's not God in irrational circumstances? Mother Yashoda, seeing the entire universe in his mouth, he's still my son. Call the Brahmins, will bathe him in cow urine and everything to purify him. Somebody gave him the evil eye. You understand? Who can rationalize that kind of stuff? You understand? In the same way, Devaki How in an irrational circumstance that God has appeared before you, you ask him to become a baby because you have fear of Kamsa. So that mood has come from Yashoda. That's why she's called Yashoda. She gives the fame of motherhood to Devaki. How? Gopal Champu, it's clearly mentioned. Here we come to Baladeva also Lila. That when they found that Kamsa was committing so many atrocities, Kamsa sent his various wives and family members to different places to escape the wrath of Kamsa.
Yes, Vasudev.
Vasudev. I said, who I say?
You say Kamsa.
Oh, Kamsa. Because of Kamsa. So, Vasudev sent Rohini Ma, at that time already pregnant, to stay with Nanda Maharaj, already 7 months pregnant, to stay with Nanda Maharaj. After some time, in the 7th appearance of a child in the womb of Devaki, it's explained that Krishna ordered that Yogmaya should go and create the atmosphere of a miscarriage. Who was in the womb of Devaki at that time?
Balaram, smaller, but not Balaram, but the
Who I mentioned in the beginning. Shankarashan
Shankara
Adisesh
Shan.
was in the womb. So what is the duty of Shankarashan? I explained already. To attract everything to Krishna. Therefore, when Yogamaya, you read this in Gopal Champu, when Yogamaya went to Braj, she created a conduit between Braj and Mathura. In that conduit, she took the child Shankarshan through that conduit back to Braj and into the womb of Rohini. Therefore, Rohini is the consistent conduit between Braj and Mathura and Dwarka. Therefore, when the wives in Dwarka wanted to understand the glory of Braj, who did they ask? Because who could manifest the reality of Braj? Rohini Ma. She is the constant conduit between Braj and Mathura and Dwarka. You understand? So now, that conduit is made. That Shankarshan attracts everything back to Vrindavan. Now, some months later, 3 months later something, then Baladev makes his appearance.
No. 7 more months.
14
It was
months,
14
yes.
months.
Baladev makes his appearance. At that time that Baladev makes his appearance, everything is very wonderful, except that Baladev appears to be like deaf and dumb. You understand? If any time Baladev will show life, is when he will be put on the lap of Yashodama, who is pregnant with whom? At that time, he'll display some signs of life. If they are separated, again, he'll go back to like the state of deaf and dumb. You understand? So this went on until the birth of Krishna. Understand? So once Krishna made his appearance, then Baladev manifests the fullness of his mood as Dalbhaya, and he manifests the fullness of his mood of life. Maharaj told when he was here, Srila Bhakti Swarup Siddha Maharaj, that when Gargamuni came to do the naming ceremony, they switched them around, put Krishna in the lap of Rohini, and put Baladev in the lap of Yashoda to test the Shakti of Gargarishi. Right? And Gargarishi pointed out everything to let them know. So they could have faith that what he would tell would be true. You understand? And then he told that Balaram's position would be very unique because he would be invested with so much strength that he would be the ideal person to protect Krishna. So what kind of Saka is Baladev? His primary rasa with Krishna is in Sakyaras. What kind of Saka is Baladev?
Saka or
He's
or.
the vritti of all come from Baladev Tattva. But he is also a Saka of a particular type. There are Priya Saka, there are Sakas, Priya Narma Sakas, and one category is there also. Bali Mardan, huh?
Vasalya mood with.
Mixed a little bit. What do they call? Surit Sakas. Understand? Bali Mardan, others, they're like a little older than Krishna, and they acted like Krishna's protector. You understand? So, of course, I'm not telling all leelas of them growing up and so forth and so on, because so many other things I'd like to get to. So, Baladev's character is very unique in this way. Baladev has no self-interest of his own. You understand? He has no self-interest of his own. His entire existence is only the manifestation of Krishna's pleasure. You understand this? There is no name the Leela of Baladev which has self-interest. Krishna's Leela is full of self-interest. Everything is about me for Krishna. You understand? But name that Leela for Baladev.
Well, somebody can say
Mhm.
when he didn't want the war,
Mhm.
instead of staying on the side of Krishna, he left and
Mhm.
went on pilgrimage.
Mhm.
So, can we say that that is self-interest or not?
Very good. That's a very good one. Self-interest or not?
What about he had his own Rasa Leela?
Oh, we're gonna get, yeah, again, that's two of them. He didn't fight in the Battle of Kurukshetra. He had his own Ras Leela. Any others?
Samba married, kidnapped, what's her name?
Uh-huh.
Balaram was upset.
He was upset.
And went to drag her.
Mhm.
They dragged all of Hastinapur.
Uh-huh.
Marin Revati.
Huh?
Marin.
Revati? Revati, that was, yeah, a little
Shakti.
different. That was, yeah, that's his own Shakti.
Yes.
So let's go one by one. So he did not fight in the Battle of Kurukshetra. Did Krishna fight in the Battle of Kurukshetra?
No.
If Krishna did not fight in the Battle of Kurukshetra and Baladev took a side, ball game over. You understand? If Baladev will fight, Krishna not fight, there's no fight. You understand? Therefore, Baladev did not fight also because Krishna did not fight. Also, why Krishna did not fight, Baladev is empathetic with that mood. Why Krishna did not fight? After meeting, huh?
He promised Radha he wouldn't.
Yes, at Kurukshetra. At Kurukshetra when they met, and Radhika recites this verse that is famous by Madhavinda Puripad, Ayi dina dayadranata maturanata karvalukchaye. That now I've seen you, before you were Dinanath, mean whenever we were experiencing great suffering in Braj, you would appear there and you would console us. But now even we're standing before you, but you have no flute, you have no flower crown, you have no pitambar. Now I see you dressed in all royal garments. Your bracelets are so heavy, how can you hold your arms up? You have one crown, it's so heavy, it must be hurting you. So this is giving us pain to see you dressed like this. Dressed like a king. You understand? So this mood, Krishna was feeling how gopis, especially Radhika, was feeling. So when Krishna, after the Surya Grahan, solar eclipse meeting at Kurukshetra, Krishna told, I have 2 more demons to kill, and I will not fight again. So only what contracts he had left, like Dantaraka, Shishupal, that he finished, and then he decided not to fight again. Even he took up a mood that would stimulate his remembrance of Braj, because he took up the occupation of a chariot driver. Gurudev told many times, chariot driver cannot just be driver. Like contemporary times, if you have a limousine driver, you can't just drive the car. You have to keep it clean, you have to wax it, you have to check the tires, check the oil, maintain the car. Open the door. So Krishna used to maintain the horses for Arjuna. At this time, Arjuna used to come and witness that Krishna would take the neck of one horse and he would rub underneath and he would be crying. And Krishna has different groups of cows. One group is called Mridanga Mukhi because their faces look somewhat like a horse, like a Mridanga shape. So Krishna was stroking under the chin and crying, I'm so sorry I left you. I see you're not eating. Because Krishna would offer hay and the cow would not eat. So Krishna was thinking, oh, it's because I've left that you've become so upset. So Arjuna was witnessing all of these things. These are the things that made Arjuna a apt recipient for Krishna's catharsis on the Battle of Kurukshetra in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Understand? Everybody understand this? Because who spoke? Yes. Arjuna witnessing all of these things of Krishna. And according to the Adi Leela, 4th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he quotes the Adi Puran, in the 4th chapter of Adi Leela, he quotes from the Adi Puran that Krishna used to speak to Arjuna regularly about the gopis at a certain period. So now Arjuna was also witnessing the effects of his separation from Braj. So when they will arrive at Kurukshetra for the battle, and Krishna's mood of remembering Brijabasis, this is the last place he saw Brijabasis, he becomes overwhelmed. When he becomes overwhelmed, in Ujjal Nilamani, there is one thing. In Anurag, it is called Yavat Asraya Vritti. Like if you read Ujjal Nilamani, every stage of love has its characteristics. In the stage of Anurag, which is the base of the gopis' love for Krishna and Krishna's reciprocation with them, it's mentioned, Swa Samveja Dasha Prapya Prakasita Yavarasraya Vrittis Chet This is a description of what is anurag. The function of Yavvarashraya Vritti means the love flows out of the heart of one person into the heart of another person who's close and capable of receiving it. And asana janatarit valodanam. In the nature of that ruda bhav that comes as a result of that, it churns the heart of that person. So Arjuna was not bewildered by seeing all of his family members there. He was bewildered by the vicarious influence of Krishna's missing the Brijabasis there. Therefore, it's written in Gita Upanishad, Sava Upanasado Gavo, Dugdha Nandana Gopala, Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhokta, Gita Amritam Mahat. So here he's saying, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita is the milkman of Braj. Normally we used to think of Vasudev Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita.
Sarvadharma Parityaja.
Mamekam Saranam Braja. So I think I spoke this before. In Savaguya Katha, the whole 700 of verses of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's catharsis of separation from Braj. You understand? For ordinary people at different levels, Samanyan Upakyan, how to do my duty. Guya Upakyan, what is the difference between the body and the soul. Guya Tarupakyan, what is bhakti in general. Guya Tam, oh, what especially is Braja Bhakti. Savaguya Tam, what is Krishna's relation with gopis.
Wow.
So according to, Gurudev's written this in his Bhagavad Gita right in the beginning. So according to the nature of the darshan you're taking of Bhagavad Gita will determine what vision you see those verses in. You understand? Like for us, because we have aspiration to serve in Braj, our vision will be we're seeing Krishna separated at Kurukshetra after having met Brijabasis there during the solar eclipse, and now he's taking the opportunity, having the Udipan of being in that place again. Partha Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta. A Vatsa means a calf. Partha means Arjun. Krishna took Arjun like a calf is taken to a cow. What does a calf do when it comes to the cow? What will a cow do? Give abundantly. So then he says, Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhokta. Oh Sudhir, those who are very intelligent, who can understand Savaguyatam Katha. Sudhir Bhokta. Gita Amritam Mahat. Oh you great souls, taste the nectar of Krishna's catharsis that's being inspired by bringing Arjun near him so he could speak it.
Wow.
So Arjun's bewilderment is not ordinary. You understand? Therefore, when Krishna addressed him, he said, if you read the verse in Bhagavad Gita, it said Krishna was smita, he was smiling. This is a time to laugh or smile? You're on a battlefield? But why was Krishna smiling? Because he realized, yes, Arjuna is ripe now.
Wow.
You understand? His heart is ready. That's why 9th chapter he's telling him, Raja Vijay Raja Guyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam. Right? Pratyat Swag Agamam Dharmyam. I'm going to give you through hearing darshan of the supreme knowledge, most confidential knowledge. Is the most confidential knowledge that you should do your duty?
No.
Is the most confidential knowledge you're not the body? What is the most confidential knowledge Krishna could have shared with him? What is love of Braj? You understand? So he's revealing here, but you have to see it. You understand? So Baladev did not have his own self-interest by not fighting. And what did Baladev do when he did not fight? He went on Tirthyatra, to all the holy places. What did he do in those holy places? He establishes the Shakti in those places, because he himself is the embodiment of Krishna Shakti. A holy place is not just water in a tank, or some trees and some dust. It's the mood in those places. This is why Mahaprabhu sent the Goswamis to re-establish the places in Braj, headed by Rup Goswami. Vrindavananiyam Rasakeli Vartam, Kalena Lupta, Nija Shakti Ukta, Sanchaya Rupe. He empowered Rup Goswami. I spoke this thing the other day. I will speak some at the end here. But he empowered Rup Goswami, and by extension all of our Goswami Bhaga, that you will go and you will establish the holy places in Braj. Why? You think he didn't know any archaeologist's phone number? Any archaeologist? Because those places are not tourist spots. They're bhavs. Vrindavan is the heart of Radhika. Who knows the heart of Radhika? Manjaris. Braj, Radhika revealed at Kurukshetra. Anyara Hridoya Moraman, Moramana Vrindavan, Monivani Eka Karijani. My heart and Vrindavan are one thing. So Vrindavan is Radhika's heart. Who knows Radhika's heart? Her Manjaris. Because Rup Manjari is her Rup. Lavanga Manjari Sanatana Goswami is her Lavanga, means her beauty. Guna Manjari Gopal Goswami is her Gun. Vilas Manjari Jiva Goswami is her pastimes. Rati Manjari Raghunath Das Goswami is her Rati. So they know. So they can establish the places of Braj. Nobody else. Because it means they can bring out what is the mood of Radhika in these places. You understand? Nobody can do this. One person he kept with him in Jagannath Puri, Raghunath Das Goswami. Why? I'll explain at the end of this. But Ordurja and Madhurja are two concepts we should also understand deeply. So first let me finish the Baladev Tattva, then I'll explain that thing. So Baladev did not have any self-interest in leaving. He went on Tirthayatra, and especially he came to the place called Namisharanya. What happened at Namisharanya?
Killed Ramaharshan Sutta.
Does anybody know the history of Ramaharshan Sutta? Huh? Sutta means a class. He was born in Pratiloma. Pratiloma marriage means if any person of an inferior class who's male marries a superior class woman, that is called Pratiloma. Anulomas if it's vice versa. So he's born of a Pratiloma family, means he's not high class of Brahmin. But because when he learned the Puranas from Vyasadeva, when he used to recite the Puranas, he was so expert, so sweet the way he recited the Puranas, it would make your hair stand up. So he's called Ramaharshan. You understand? So when he came to Namisharanya, the sages who were doing a yajna, they gave him what's called a brahmasana. They gave him a special seat that while they're doing the yajna, he could recite the Puranas. And everybody would be in so much bliss. When Baladev entered into the arena there, at that time they all stood up. But an etiquette is that if you're on the Vyasasan by Dharma, you're not obliged to stand up. You understand? But what is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam? Is it Rag or is it Vaidhi? It is Rag. Therefore, if Sri Gurudeva, any high class of Vaishnava walk in now, will everybody stand? Yeah. Who's sitting here, will you stand up also? Yes, because you're recognizing. But Ramaharshan Sutta was only absorbed in what is Dharma. Also, he had some pride. I'm not a Brahmin, but I'm sitting on the Brahmasan in front of all these high class of Brahmins. They're recognizing me. Can you speak Bhagavatam if you have pride? Plus also, not saying he spoke Bhagavatam, I'm saying he spoke Puranas. You understand? Partly because that time Vyasadeva did not really reveal Bhagavatam. He revealed the Purans, and he gave Itihasim Puran to the care of a sutta. Sutta means a class of people who recite. And Ramaharshan was very expert, so he made him the Acharya of reciting the Puranas. So this is how he got that status. He had one son named what is his name? Ugrashrava Sutta. Ugrashrava means, Ugra means very fierce, very intense. A person who has the ability to hear with great intensity is called Ugrashrava. So when Baladev came in, he looked at Ramaharshan. Ramaharshan Sutta did not stand up because he was absorbed in his own pride, everything. So he decided to make a sacrifice. So in a sacrifice, you need kusha grass. Kusha grass was everywhere because they were doing yajnas. So he took one piece of kusha grass and touched them with it. Two things happened. Because of the potency of the ideal that was set to happen at Namisharanya. You have to go back and look at the history of Namisharanya. They all went to Brahma, asked Brahma, listen, in the Kali Yuga, it's going to be very difficult. Where's a place we can take shelter to perform yajna? Brahma took a big wheel and he rolled the wheel. He said, where this wheel will stop, in the hub of that place will be a safety zone. Right? That's where they all took shelter. That place is called Namisharanya. You understand? So that place was very sacred, very holy. You understand? So this pride in that place was not suitable. So Baladev came and he made sacrifice of Ramaharshan Sutta. So many teachings are in this thing. We should not hear Harikatha for enjoyment. Gurudev says you should serve Harinam, you should serve Harikatha. Right? So Ramaharshan Sutta was absorbed, just like there's a popular thing, and I have no real problem with it because I think it's good preaching. But the kirtan melas and these kind of things, I don't know how much Harikatha goes on there. You understand? And this is an issue. Like kirtan melas and all these things, right? It's everybody's doing kirtan, but what happens if the swarup of Harinam is not present? it becomes rag and tal. And if it becomes rag and tal, then everybody's enjoying rag and tal. And therefore, the Swarup of Harinam does not come. You understand? Because you're dismissing. Oh, we won't glorify you. We're only here to get the akshar of the Nam in various melodies and so forth and so on. It may not be on purpose. And the idea is good. And because they're under guidance, to some degree, some blessing is there. But it's not the highest class of presentation. It should be as much Harikatha as there is Harinam. Then it becomes effective. Understand? So this way, Ramaharshan Sutta, he was speaking and he had this very great expertise to speak, but there was no substance there, and it was evidenced by his pride. Because if you're tasting pride, Pratishtashta drasa swapacharamani virimenatet, katam sadhu prema spiritati suchihena numanaha. How can pure prema into the heart if the audacious outcast prostitute of a woman is dancing in the heart? Raghunath Das Goswami got really adjective laden here. It's like, yeah, this, and this, right? So he's saying, how is that possible? So if you have no prema in your heart, how you'll be a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam or Purans? You understand? So therefore he killed him. But his son, Ugasrava, he later took the intensity of that desire to hear. Where did his desire for intensity? His name is Ugasrava. But where did he get the actual faith to hear? From Baladevji. Baladev blessed him with a long life and the ability to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So when he heard Shukdev Goswami speaking it, he again returned to Namasharanya. And therefore they asked him 6 questions and he started. Yam Pravajanamapeta Kritam. He glorified Shukdev Goswami. And they acknowledged, you must have heard excellently from your guru. You understand? And Yaswa Anubhavam Akila Shruti Saramekam. This is his 2 pranam mantras to Shukdev Goswami. So actually, Baladev Prabhu, he did not have any self-interest. He had the interest of everyone on behalf of Krishna. And therefore he went to Namasharanya after visiting all the holy places, empowering them to make sure the purity of Bhagavatam would come to us. So no self-interest there. What was the other one? When Uddhavji was asked to go to Vrindavan, Gacha Vrajamurva Somyam Pitaro Prityavaha Mad Gopi Viyogadim Mat Sindeshai Vimochaya Shishi Radha Govindaju Shishi Sachinan Jashri Guru Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Uddhav was asked to go there, Uddhav was asked to go Pitaro Pityavaha. He said, you go and treat our parents, Nandan Yashoda, like Pitaro is like dual cases. So it means that our parents, you treat them like they're your own parents and show them priti, show them affection. That may help to console their separation. But mad gopi viyogadim, but that kind of viyog gopis are going through, you cannot do anything about that. You have no capacity for that. Mat sandashai vimochaya. If you give them my message, that will help them. But did the message help? No. So the real bottom line is that actually Krishna sent Uddhava there to get trained in what is prem, so he'd have somebody to talk to these things about. You understand? Because even his message did not work. So it showed the power of the gopis' love even over the power of Krishna. You understand? The power of their prem. So high. You understand? Now, after that, who will go? How will they be satisfied? Because Krishna still did not go himself. So who goes next? Baladev goes. But did Krishna ask Baladev to go? Baladev said, no, I'm going. You should also come. What are you doing here? Always absorbed here. You're crying every day. You're suffering like anything. We should go to Braj. Now you'll preach this later on in Bhagavad Gita. Savadama Parijaja Mavikam Saranam Braja. But right now I'm telling you we should go, but you're not going. So I'm going alone. So Baladev goes alone. Krishna, of course, saying, oh yeah, that's a good idea because when we were young, there were so many gopis who liked you, and they were too young at that time, so you can dance with all these different things. But was this the real reason Baladev went?
No.
Nope. He went there, and at Ramghat, he began to do Ras Leela. But in doing Ras Leela, what do you think will happen to Radhika and all of the gopis? Who will they remember by that? Krishna. Here's Baladev Ji performing a Maharas at Ramghat. You understand? You think they'll just say, oh, well, we'll go watch TV or something. They also were stimulated about thinking of Krishna. What power does Baladev have that Uddhav, he can only give a sandesh, a message. What power does Baladev have that Uddhava did not have?
He's the Supreme Personality of God.
He is Vaibhav Prakash of Krishna. He is completely no self-interest. Therefore, he can manifest Krishna. So for those 2 months, he manifested Krishna himself to all of Krishna's gopis. Gurudev told this is secret. He met with them and manifested Krishna to them. You understand? So again, no self-interest whatsoever.
So he took the color off.
No. It means he manifested because,
When
what
did
is,
he take the color?
no, this is once he was looking at Krishna, became full of separation. And his own color changed. This is the deity in Vrindavan Dauji. He took that color. Yeah, different. But here, he manifested Krishna to all the gopis for those 2 months. And in a secluded place, they danced Rasa Leela. Gurudev told us, he said, ordinary people, they say, oh no, they try to make a special effort that Baladev had his own Rasa Leela at Ramghat with his own gopis. Gurudev said, this is for ordinary people. For those who really know, they know Baladev's intention was to pacify all Brijabasis. He gave pacification to Nanda and Yashoda, and he satisfied all gopis. He'll go think, Baladev could be so selfish, I'll go, I'll dance, I'll make these gopis happy, and they will suffer even more by witnessing the fact that I'm dancing Ras Leela. Remembering, they'll suffer even more.
So he danced with all the gopis?
No, listen carefully. There are different kinds of moods of separation. One is called Vipralamba Prakrita Pradurbhav. So in Vipralamba Prakrita Vipralam Prakrita Pradurbhav, the gopis have the experience that when they have a darshan of Krishna, it's not different from Krishna. You understand? If they have a sporti, it's different. A sporti is if they're in separation, Krishna appears before them, and then they see, and then they try to embrace, and Krishna disappears, their separation doubles. But in Vipralamba Prakrita Pradurbhav, there's a resolution. Oh, Krishna's gone. We may never see him again. In that mood of resolve, they take deep inspiration from that sporti and consider it non-different from Krishna. Baladev manifested by his Ras Leela the Udipan for that deep mood of separation from Krishna. Therefore, when Baladev approached them, he manifested Krishna to them.
Did he also show that he's independent, just like Krishna? He could also just...
Yes.
He could also say, by him doing that, he could also say, I'm just going to the spiritual.
Exactly.
I'm just going to Vrindavan.
Because he has independence, because he has no self-interest. So everything he does is only for Krishna. You understand? So he manifested Krishna. Did everybody understand that whole chain of thought?
Yes.
Huh?
She wants it. Explain again, Ramana.
So, Baladev, he went to Braj purportedly to dance with those gopis who were too young at the time of the Ras Leela to come and dance. There were other gopis who had an attraction to Baladev. You understand? So Krishna, on the pretense of that, said, yes, it's a good idea. You should go to Braj. When he went there and he began to manifest all of the elements of the Ras Leela, what do you think would happen with the gopis of Krishna? That is the highest form of Udipan. If you've just broken up with someone and your heart is breaking, and then you see a couple walking down the street hugging each other and talking, right? You'll either go back and get a big bowl of Shrikant or something, or whatever happens. You understand? So you'll be triggered, so to speak. Your emotions will be triggered, right? Because you're thinking of your love life and everything else, etc., etc. So when that happened, what will gopis think? Uddhava took a message to them. The message didn't work. It worked for its purpose because it gave Uddhava realization of the height of their praying. But it didn't work to resolve their issue, their viyog from Krishna. But when Baladev performed that, gave Udipan, they entered this Vipralamba Prakrita Pradurbhav. Such a deep mood of separation, because this is the pinnacle of what they used to associate with Krishna for. That mood intensified in their heart so deeply, when Baladev appeared before them, he has the power to summon Krishna. He is Shankar Shan. So he summons that Krishna should appear there. And Krishna comes there via the Prakash of Baladev and dances with them and associates them for 2 months. You understand? That's the power of Baladeva Ji. You understand? So this is why, even in the Ras Leela, he has no self-interest. So I should hurry now because it's getting a little late, and Maharaj should speak before Arti. So, one last thing I wanted to talk about. I couldn't get to everything else, but I wanted to express how Baladev Ji, like Shri Krishna, has two features. One is called Madhurya, and one is called Audodya. So does anybody know what the word Audodya means? Magnanimity, magnificent. These are all sort of synonyms for it, because in English there's no real word. But Audodya means an unfathomable mercy. That when something that is meant to be very exclusive becomes a large experience for everybody. I'm giving an example. Normally, the dealings between any couple is exclusive dealing. Their married life is exclusive dealing. But there's one day in their being together that becomes Audodya. What day is that? The wedding day. Because on the wedding day, what's normally been very exclusive between them in their love dealings becomes vicariously shared by everybody. That's why when they have the wedding, I now pronounce you man and wife. People not married, unmarried, you know. And of course, the very macho men are sitting there going, what is this stuff in my eye? It's supposed to be pollen. You understand? So everybody gets affected, right? You understand? Because now that love, which is normally Madhurya. Madhurya has many meanings. Sweet, meaning Madhurya Rasa, meaning Adi Rasa or Shinga Rasa. Madhurya also means exclusive. You understand? So here, the nature of the exclusive love, you understand, becomes Audodya. It expands in such a way that it reaches out to touch others. So the pinnacle of love is when the Ashraya Vigraha and the Vishaya Vigraha become one. This is Mahaprabhu. When Krishna and Radhika, due to the transformation of Prem, take one form. Right? It's explained in Adi Leela, chapter 1, maybe text number 5. Shri Radha, what is this verse? Shri Radha Pranaya Vikrati Ladini Shakti Ashmad. The cause of the transformation that makes Radha and Krishna, who were originally one, become one again in the evolution of love, right? That is called the transformation of Ladini Shakti. That is called the Audodya Roop. Because in that Audodya Roop, the simultaneous mood of Prem and compassion rise together. That's why in the verse describing Mahaprabhu's tasting Radhika's love, Prema Rasaniyas Karite Ashwadan, Rag Marg Bhakti Lok Karite Pracharan, Rasik Shekara, Parama. Yes. So not only at that time is the pinnacle of Krishna being Rasik Shekar, because he's tasting what is the pinnacle of Maranakya Mahabhav, but also he's Parama Karun at that time because Radhika is also present there. And we sang today, right? Karunam Kurumai, Karun Varite, Sanaka Sanatan, Varita Charite. Radhika is so compassionate. So because of Radhika's compassion, now Mahaprabhu's Audodya Roop is so compassionate. In that compassion, what happens? Prem Laiva Goparamanam Kama Mityagamat Pratam Udava Adayo Pietan Vajanti Bhagavad Priya. He takes all the devotees from all the previous incarnations, Hanuman, 4 Kumaras, Prahalad, everybody, and he allows them all to come into Gaur Leela, and in the courtyard of Srivas, they're tasting the intensity of that Prem which is tasted in the Ras Leela. Wow. That's his compassion. But the verse says, Rag Marg Bhakti Lok. Because Mahaprabhu's capacity, I'll give to the Bhakta Lok. You understand? How will I give to everyone else? Nitya Baladev Tattva then becomes the Audodya Roop Nityananda Tattva. And as Nityananda Tattva, he sets a template. This is the Audodya Roop of that Baladev. He sets a template by giving this highest thing to the lowest person. Where does he begin his preaching? Jagai and Madai. So he sets a template. To show that compassion, he sets a template. And he spills blood to allow them to get praying. You understand? Therefore, Mahaprabhu, who came in, what was he going to do? Yes. But Nityananda's compassion in his Odorja Roop, he gave them praying. Now that set the template. So Mahaprabhu then, he inspires his Goswami Vaga because they're the secret holders of all the mysteries of this Odorja Roop, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of the Madhurya Roop, Radha and Krishna. Especially among all the Goswamis, who was the embodiment of all the knowledge of Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami. Therefore, he takes Rupa Goswami to one place to empower him. What is that place called? In Prayag, what's happening? There's the Madhurya Mai flow of Jamuna and the Odorja Mai flow of Ganges. That's where they meet. He empowers Rupa Goswami in that place where Odorja and Madhurya meet. It means the place where the Madhurya Lila can become available to everyone. But who will do it? Yan Kali Rupa Sharira Nadarata. Tan Raja Prema Mahanidhi Kutarika. That prema is locked in a chest, and the key is given to Rupa Goswami. Vrindavananyam Rasakeli Vatam Kalena Luttam Nidhi Shakti Yukta Sanchaja Rupe Vyatano Punasa. He empowers Rupa Goswami to unlock the chest and distribute it. You understand? So, Odorja Lila and Madhurya Lila. You understand? If it was not for this Odorja Lila, would we be sitting here talking about this right now? No way. So therefore, Nityananda is the Odorja Roop of Baladev Tattva. And it is that Nityananda who appears as the Akhanda Guru Tattva. Then our Srila Gurudev becomes the embodiment of the principle of distributing to the lowest element. Because Mahaprabhu, Chiraratadam Nijaguptavitam, Swanama Premamritatyudara, Apamrayo Vitataragora. To the lowest persons, he gave the highest thing in Nam. Swanama Prem Amrit. The nectar of that prem means, of the nectar imbued in Nam is up to the highest level of Mananakyama Bhav. We can't have that Bhav, but what can we have? Service to that Bhav. That's the meaning of the art. What verse? What's the verse? Anapita Chirim Jirat Karunavatina Kalo. Samutpaitam Unata Ujwalasa Swabhakti Sriyam. We can have service to that mood. How is that possible? By the Odorja Mai Roop of Radha and Krishna's Mahaprabhu, the Odorja Mai Roop of Baladev, Nityananda, who goes and sets the template. Give it to Jagai and Madai. Now, I know in artificial humility we say, I'm worse than Jagai and Madai. But you have not seen their portfolio. If you go on their LinkedIn page and you look, you will see. You cannot match up. You understand? That set the template. And now Rupa Goswami, he's also empowered. Darya Dharan Shakti. He's empowered that while he writes the most esoteric things, he can keep his composure. Why didn't Bhagavatam explain all these things? Shukadeva Goswami, he's the Krita Shuk of Radhika. He could have told all these things. Radha Nama Prachanina Muchita San Masikovavet. But if he will speak these things, he'll be overcome and faint. But Rupa Goswami was given the power. You will be able to write all of these things. Utkarika Valavi, Lalita Madhava, Vidagda Madhav, right? Hangshadut, Ujjwalni Lamani, Bhakti Rasmi, and you'll keep your composure. You understand? So that all these souls will be benefited. The many Jagai Madais, they'll all be benefited by what you are writing. So this is Odorja and Madhurya. If we don't understand this, we will not understand how we've entered the path. You understand? Like that. Maharaj, last words and questions?
Just, I can say just few things.
Yeah.
Two things that you didn't touch on.
Oh, so many things.
When do we,
I think, Abhishek, ready? No.
He's offering.
Yeah, a few more minutes.
So, who will ever say anything better than
Maharaj.
Mukunda Prabhu? You know, by mercy of Gurudev, Gurudev has imparted into his heart the knowledge that he can give to us. So we know that Lord Balaram is Prakash Vigraha of Krishna. And what was the mood? Krishna alone can enjoy himself. He has to expand for that enjoyment to take place. So the first expansion of Krishna in the Prakash Vigraha form. So somebody will ask, then what about Radharani? Radharani is the energy. That energy is in Krishna, and that energy is also in the Prakash Vigraha. So from there, what is his mood? He has to plow, as Prabhu was saying. He has to plow the field of the heart. And to plow the field of the heart, first he has to manifest the jivas. So in the spiritual world, all the jivas that serve Krishna there, especially in Braj, they are all manifestation of Baladeva. And now he has a plow. And then he has what?
Club.
A club. What is that? When he manifested, and Prabhu has already explained the different, when he came to Mula Sankarshan, when he expanded into Karuna Dakasaya Vishnu, all that energy, that Shakti, he expanded the living entities, which we will call in the
Bhadajivas. The Bhadajivas?
The Bhadajivas, not even the Bhadajivas, but
Mahatattva?
Mahatattva, in the Mahatattva, the energy that is manifesting. Now, he has to plow the field. So in plowing the field of the jivas, he's using the plow. And the plow means what? You are a gardener or a farmer, has to plow the field. So he's plowing the field of the jivas so that the Lord can easily enter as a seed that will be planted in them. So Baladev's position is very, very unique in that he's always plowing the field. And what does a farmer do to guide his farm? He has to have a guard, the gate and everything, or he has to protect it. So he's using the club as protection. So for the devotees who have been, given that knowledge, who have been given the knowledge of Krishna through he's protecting all their bhakti by what? Using the club to drive away all elements that are negative. So this is Balaram. Even though he is serving Krishna, at the same time he's helping us. And how even he's serving us by using that club to protect us from any negativity. And the last one I want to say, Balaram never leaves Vrindavan, just like Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Balaram and Krishna always are in Vrindavan. So when Devaki was pregnant with the seventh child, already Rohini, who had been sent to Braj, was pregnant 7 months already. And when the transfer took place, the transfer was taking the other aspect of Balaram. What is the Mula? The Sankarshan aspect into Vrindavan, merged into Rohini. So Rohini, instead of the 9 months, took
14.
Instead of 9 months, took 14 months. So actually, Balaram was in the womb for 14 months.
Oh.
You follow me? Then, so some people are saying that Balaram, was a year or more older than Krishna. But our acharyas are saying no, it's not like that. So that 14 months he kept in the womb made Balaram and Krishna's difference in age not to be 1 year, but a few months. 3 months, is it?
7 days.
7, is it 7 days? Just so that they can actually relate with each other in performing leelas. So with this, there is more about Balaram Katha, but we will end up here. If you have questions, you can ask Prabhu before we stop. You are welcome. Any questions? Any comments? Okay.
Anybody, anything for Baladeva Tattva? Anybody want to share anything?
You want to share something? Lalita? You have all that knowledge and you are hiding it. Why are you doing that? Who else? Okay.
Is the Abhishek ready, or we're waiting for the offering to come off?
Oh, it's off for now.
Oh, he's offering, so you're ready?
Oh.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay.
All right, then.
So, any questions, comments? Oh.
One last thing is that also then, to understand the manifestation, to understand the Durja manifestation of Baladev, you can see that in the form of Sri Guru. Because Sri Guru is Vyasti of the Akhanda principle of Guru. You understand? So actually Gurudev is the first appearance of Sri Baladev as Nityananda, the Durja Roop, then the form of Vyasti Guru. So Guru is the form of Baladev Tattva for the Jiva. Understand? He's also the form of Antaryami. In Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned, I think, Adi Lila 158, Jive Sakshat Nai Chaitya Guru Rupe, Shiksha Guru Hoy, Krishna Mahant Swarupe. So the word Mahant means a manifest presence of a Sadhu Guru. That person is the Shiksha form of the Antaryami. So Gurudev is simultaneously the manifestation of Antaryami. He is also the Adorja Roop by extension from Nityananda Prabhu for the Jiva. And then ultimately, he is the Sakhi of Radhika in the aspiration for Manjari Bhav. Understand?
Wow.
So these three features are present in the, that's why one bhajan is there. Heno Nitya Vine Bhai, Radha Krishna Paitinai. Though Nityananda Prabhu was not there in the nature of our aspiration for Manjari Bhav, because Ananga Manjari is not the Manjari. Her name is Ananga Manjari. She's a Varagopi. You understand? And the younger sister Radhika, so she's always serving like that, but she's not in the category of Manjari. Everybody knows this, correct? She's Varagopi. It's a particular category of Sakhis, right? So, but our aspiration also is not just Radha Dasyam. Our actual aspiration, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Mora Sampada, Sei Mora Bhajan Pujan. Our puja and bhajan, our upasana is for what sampad? Sampad means gold. The lotus feet of Rup Manjari. So it's not just Radha Dasyam. Everything in Braj is Radha Dasyam. You understand? Directly or indirectly. Particularly we are looking for the lotus feet and savas to Rupa Manjari. You understand? So Sri Gurudev in the final manifestation to us appears as Guru Rupa Sakhi. In the initial stage he appears as the Prakash of Akhanda Guru Tattva Nityananda. Understand? Then in maturation he appears in the form of Guru Rupa Sakhi in the line of Rup Manjari.
So what about Lakshman and Ram? Is there any
Yes.
fitting in there?
Yes. Wherever Krishna will go, the presence of Baladev Tattva is present there. Understand? So when he takes the appearance of Lord Ram, then he's there as Lakshman.
Why did Balaram favor Duryodhan over Bhima, because he seems like he had more affection for him than he did Bhima, and even after the battle, like he was like seemed to like empathize more with Duryodhana.
I only heard Gurudev tell this once. One Mataji at the temple the other day asked me the same question. She quoted some Garga Samhita. I've only heard Gurudev mention one thing. That was because everybody from the perspective of Krishna was against Duryodhana. So to show impartiality, because he was so partial to Arjuna, and Pandava said, to show impartiality, Baladeva manifested some, not completely affection, but equal treatment towards Duryodhana. So championing the underdog, so to speak. You understand? It's the only thing I've ever heard from Gurudev on that. Has anybody heard something else different?
Well, also in the past time, I mean, Duryodhana won the favor of him by, it was actually his plan to do that. He like purposely went there and then started, you know, that whole, like they started having those fights. You know, they started.
Well, they both were trained in Gada. Gada Yuddha means mace fighting.
But it was his whole plan to go there and like.
Who, Duryodhana? Or?
Yeah, Duryodhana. Yeah. That was his plan.
Well, he wanted to, yeah. But Baladev could be tricked, so that's why would he be affectionate? So Gurudev told he wanted to give balance, like partiality. He liked sometimes balance, because like just like when Arjuna stole Subhadra. It was not, Baladev was not happy.
And then another aspect, you can see when, is it Samba?
Samba, yeah.
When Samba, you know, had to go at the Rajasuya, is it no? The marriage ceremony of Duryodhana's daughter. During that time, Samba, you know, the daughter wasn't actually prepared for Samba. The Samba went and kidnapped her anyway in the front of all these kings. And the Kurus were mad. So they captured Samba. They wanted Samba to, you know, pay for it, but they didn't want to kill him. They imprisoned him. So they sent, when this came to Krishna's attention, he sent Balaram, and when Balaram went there, he said, okay, please, you know, we are all brothers and so forth. Why can't you? He said, no, this person, he is not fit to actually wipe our shoes. And then he comes to take our, you know, daughter without permission. And, you know, Balaram was angry. He said, what? What are you talking about? You know, but so in front of all those people, he said, okay, I'll show you. I know. And then he took his plow.
Dragged the whole.
And then put it on it, and he was dragging it to the Ganga. Somebody will say, but there was no Ganga there in Histanapur. So the word Ganga actually means water, one way or the other, also in Sanskrit. So Ganga, Yamuna Chaiva. So you can see that Ganga and all those things are. Are you ready?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they're ready. Finish
He wanted to stop me. Jai Shishi Radha Govinda Joki Jai Alaram Ki Jai Alaram Jayanti Ki Jai. Arjun?
Oh, he's going to. Sri Thakur.
Arjun left.
Oh, they might, I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to have to go to get on a conference.
Oh, why? Oh.
The water
Brazil.
Who's always your back?
What do we sing? Purnima.
You can sing Going to Tide songs. You can just chant on that stuff.
Prabhu. Everybody is like this and myself.
fast.
I'm gonna try to go back and get. I'm just gonna sit down and go.
Oh yeah. I don't want to hang too long till in because
They're outside. I just told them to come back in.
yeah, sounds like a date and then.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Haribo.
Very much.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Purnitai Gaura Hari Shila Gurudeva ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.